In this video we are going to integrate a definite integral. So here we have to integrate square root of x plus 1 upon square root of x from 1 to 4, where 1 is the lower limit and 4 is the upper limit. So in order to integrate this function, first we will write the integral from 1 to 4, and then square root of x can be written as x to the power 1 upon 2 plus square root of x is x to the power 1 upon 2, and we can take this x in the numerator, so the power will become negative. So we have x to the power minus 1 upon 2, and now we have to integrate this function. So in order to integrate this function, we will use power rule of integration, which is integral of x to the power n is equal to x to the power n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. So we will add 1 in the power and divide it by the same. And when we are doing definite integration, that is when we have limits, we will not write the constant. So now we will apply this formula to x to the power 1 upon 2. So x to the power 1 upon 2 will become x to the power 1 upon 2 plus 1 over 1 upon 2 plus 1, then plus x to the power minus 1 upon 2 plus 1 over minus 1 upon 2 plus 1, and we will write the upper limit over here and lower limit in the bottom. Now 1 upon 2 plus 1 is 3 upon 2, and since 3 upon 2 is in the denominator, so we can write 2 upon 3 as a coefficient of x, and the power of x is 3 upon 2, and then plus, now minus 1 upon 2 plus 1 is 1 upon 2, and since 1 upon 2 is in the denominator, so we can write this 1 upon 2 as 2 as a coefficient of x, and in the power of x we will write minus 1 upon 2 plus 1, which is equal to 1 upon 2, and here we will write the upper and lower limit. Now x to the power 1 upon 2 is square root of x, and x to the power 3 upon 2 can be written as x to the power 3 upon 2 can be written as x to the power 1 plus 1 upon 2, because 1 plus 1 upon 2 is 3 upon 2, and this can be written as x to the power 1 multiplied by x to the power 1 upon 2 by the rule of indices, and x to the power 1 is x, and x to the power 1 upon 2 is square root of x. So we can write x square root of x in place of this x to the power 3 upon 2. So we have 2 upon 3 times x square root of x plus 2, and in place of this x to the power 1 upon 2 we can write square root of x, and then we will write the upper and lower limit. Now we can put the value of x, which is 4. So we have 2 upon 3 times 4 times square root of 4 plus 2 square root of 4, and then we will put the minus sign, then we will put the lower limit 1 in place of this x. So we have 2 upon 3 times 1 times the square root of 1 plus 2 times the square root of 1. Now 2 times 4 is 8, so we have 8 upon 3, and the square root of 4 is 2 plus 2 times the square root of 4, which is 2, then minus sign, and 1 times square root of 1 is 1, so 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 times 2 is 2, so we have 2 upon 3, then square root of 1 is 1, and 1 times 2 is 2, so we have plus 2. Now this 2 will be multiplied by 8, so we have 16 upon 3 plus 4 minus 2 upon 3 plus 2. Now we will open the bracket, so we have 16 upon 3 plus 4 minus 2 upon 3 minus 2. Now 16 upon 3 minus 2 upon 3 will become 14 upon 3, and plus 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. Now we will multiply this 3 by 2, so we have 4 plus 6 upon 3, which is equal to 20 upon 3, and 20 upon 3 can be written as, we will divide 20 by 3, so we have 3 times 6 is 18, and 2 is the remainder. So first we will write the quotient, which is 6, and then remainder at the top and the divisor in the bottom. So 20 upon 3 is equal to 6 whole 2 upon 3. So this is the answer of the definite integral.